There we go. All right, so first off, I want to say woohoo. Actually, first off, let's do 2 claps and more cues. Woo!
I can't do that with my phone in my hand.
I did one hand, it counts.
We'll just salute.
That would be a fail forward, just so you know, we made that happen. So I am so grateful for every single one of you guys. Just really we went for dinner with Ryan after
Mamacita.
and really had just a really great experience. Like, I know for me personally, what I took away, Matt was just sharing with me. He's like, I've never taken so many notes in an event. Does anyone feel the same way?
Oh my God, he had the computer closed at one point and was taking notes. It was awesome.
Yeah. So really, really clear. While there was so much club training, there was so much value in all of the personal development, right? Like just real true leadership. Like, you can tell he's a leader that just breeds people's growth and builds other leaders. And I was so grateful for that. So when we went for dinner, we just had some really...
This is this weekend. This is the whole year prior to.
Yes.
I can't see anything. I don't know what that means.
You can watch the recording.
Everyone's screen is black, like everybody's.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay.
Not really. I kind of feel left out. Oh, there you go. I can see you now.
So I guess I'll say the same thing. So we started here. So this weekend, where is it?
I know it froze.
Right? Like another group, right? So it's just so much power, so much intention. And I just really want to really get clear on where we're all going, right? What your next 90 days looks like, whatever that goal is, because that's that power of locking arms and the accountability. That's where we get to grow together. And I think that that's something that we all have been really looking, you know what I mean? Like, I know every single one of you guys that have plugged into this call have plugged into this call for a reason. Every single one of you that's watching the recording is watching the recording for a reason, because you see something happening and you see a possibility for yourself. Can we agree on that? Right? Does everyone see a possibility for how they can fit into this amazing pie called Herbalife?
You betcha.
Exactly, right? So that's why we're on this call right now. And Trish, I appreciate that you're putting your kids to bed and you're dealing with that and that you're on the call. So just so you know, I want to acknowledge everyone that's doing things with earpieces in, because that's how we figure it out. So the purpose of this call, Ashley's back, yay! Okay, so the purpose of this call, you guys, is for us to share some nuggets, some of our key takeaways to inspire each other, and then for all of us to make some declarations for the next 90 days. Are we ready to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Anyone, Trish, if there's a time that works best for you to share, let me know, okay? Otherwise, you can just plug in when you're up. So,
okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So for me, like, the biggest things that I've learned, and Andre taught us this when she was here earlier this year, was when I do my notes, I have my note page, and then I have my action steps, right? And the thing that I found so powerful with this event was pretty much every one of my notes pages has a page of action steps beside it as well. Right? So there's always these things going forward. So there's some things that I really got, I got the inspiration from Ryan about one of the things that I know that drives Matt and I is the opportunity to be able to will this to our children. And he is a living example of this. He wears, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he wears both President's Team pins. Not because he got 2 and he chose to wear both, right? Because we get 2 pins, we get 2 active world teams because there's 2 people on the membership. He wears both lines of his president's team. So he wears his father's pin all the time. And to me, that was such an inspiration of truly like what's possible, and that it's not just possible, but it's happening, right? That the solid belief in what this company really does and changing the legacy of your family, of just why not you, and do it now, right? So that was something that was really big for me. I loved his honesty on how he shared things. And so for me, invites. That's personally what I heard a lot this weekend, was invites to your social events. And so I love the language shift there, was the social event, because I know people have been like, well, I don't do fit camps, so how am I going to do this business? Or I don't have a club, so how am I going to do this business? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I work full time. So it's an invite to a social event, whether that's a Halloween party, whether that's an STS, whether that's a weight loss challenge, whether that's a picnic in the park, whether it's a fit camp. It was an invite to a social event. So that language shift for me really shows the capability for anybody to find their place in this business. That was something that I took away. And I'll give you one more nugget because there's lots of pages here. So his last, again, the personal development, you guys, I've been personally working on this myself the last 90 days. Actually, when Sean Lewis was here in August, he gave me a journal and told me to fill it. And so I have been actively and presently focusing on doing my personal development every day. Every day, every day, every day. And I have heard speaker after speaker after speaker talk about your PIN will never outgrow your personal development, right? And so for me, that was, I also have heard speakers before say if you keep hearing the same thing, it's because it's a lesson you need to learn. So I really got clear this weekend that, you know, that personal development needs to step in, that I need to grow as myself, right, in my accountability, in my steps. And so that was just a real clear direction to me that I was open and I was hearing it. And so that, and then the Beyonce video. I think most of us on this call, a couple of you weren't at that LDW. Yeah, the tears, right? But do you remember when Stevie Johnson showed us that? Right? When she closed her section with that. Okay, maybe you weren't at that event, but there was an event, a quarterly event, I think a year and a half ago already, that exact same video was shown. And I sat there and I went and I watched it happen and I went, this is happening again for a reason. This is being shown to us again for a reason, right?
It was October LDW 2 years ago.
There we go.
It was my first big event that Stevie Johnson played that. And then it played again today and I lost it.
But it shows you, right? When those things keep coming back, you guys, and that I learned that, and we learn it over and over and over and over again. If you keep hearing the same thing, or if you keep getting exposed to the same thing, it's because you haven't learned it yet. And so for me, watching that video, when after that event, I remember that I've got a power playlist that I created after that event. Do you know the first song that was put on that playlist? I Was Here by Beyonce. Right? And so that really just brought me back to, okay, find that, what legacy are we going to live, and believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, and do the work for it. So those are a couple of my takeaways. So if someone else is ready and they want to share what they got from this, then jump off mute and you can go. Or we can just popcorn. We'll go.
I'll go.
Yes. Penny, you popcorn somewhere. You popcorn. Keep going.
It kind of extends off of some of what you're talking about with the invites, the social event. I noticed, one of the things I noticed when he showed a picture was he has the call to action cards or business cards. And the call to action cards that he showed, one was for the nutrition club specifically, and one was specifically for the fit camps. And had because I'm thinking like the medicine hat girls, they flyer different times for different purposes. So like they'll go out one day with flyers for the fitness stuff. They'll go one day with flyers for a weight loss challenge. You know what I mean? Like they change it up. So in my mind, I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea for us to branch out and have different business cards for different purposes. So keep the ones that we have. They promote Nourish. They promote the free smoothie, free tea, wellness profile, that kind of thing. But maybe we should look into doing little cards that promote cardio drumming and the date and time, or the day and times that they're at. One for yoga, promote, you know what I mean? Like maybe have a wellness workshop, one specifically just for wellness workshop. So that, like, you know, when you run into someone and you know, like, hey, why don't you come to wellness workshop? And it gives them the day and time that it's at. So like that was kind of something that popped into my head when he was talking about those things, because it's something still really small to carry around, but you can kind of personalize it to what that person you're talking to might be, or you can change it up so you're not always catching the same, you know, like say you see the same person. It's like, instead of just giving them the same card again for a smoothie, or thinking to yourself, oh, I've already given them one. Oh, hey, here's a card for a wellness workshop. You know, come check it out. Something like that. So that was something. And of course, it's always personal development. You and I have talked about this, Juanita. I know I need to do it more. But I think I finally kind of wrapped my head around it, because I'm a reading person. I like to read. I'm a book person, but I find it really hard to get into reading the books. So I think I'm going to start taking some time and find some stuff on YouTube and spend half an hour after work, because when I come home from work I want to sit and watch Netflix. So instead of Netflix, I'll put YouTube on and do a half hour.
Oh, yay!
That's what I'm starting with.
That's awesome.
Got to start
And
somewhere.
I did my 90-day action plan.
All right, who are you popcorning?
Heather.
Okay, so, well, I have lots of little nuggets. First one, don't miss events because you miss a lot. I've been gone for a bit, and not only like in my business, but as a person, I see it. I feel it. I feel the difference that it makes. And it was hard going back to an LDW after being gone for 6 months, right? Like, it was a very humbling weekend to realize what I did by hiding. So don't do that, number one. Number two, like, oh, there's just so much. I think, like, on a marketing thing, so one thing that I learned in my absence, but one thing that I learned since I went to the gym was about dealing with rejection. So I think this is something I shared it with EJ, but I want to share it with you guys too, because it's something that really made a difference. Because let me just be real with you guys for a second. I have to go and ask people for $10,000 up front. Like, hey, do you want me to train you? $10,000. Like, if you don't think that you're worth that money, that person's not going to buy into you. And they touched on that, on how you have to sell yourself first, and people don't quit relationships. It's huge. So one thing that overcoming objections is there's two things. We talked about SMART goals. So if you're doing a goal setting, if you're doing like a wellness eval with somebody and you do goal setting with them, and you get to the part where you ask them for the sale and they give you an objection, and their objection is finances, it means one of two things. Either you didn't set up the goals, you didn't get their why, you didn't find it out strong enough, or two, you're not relaying it back to their goals strong enough. Those are the two reasons that people are going to tell you they don't have the money. Because if you can make somebody, like, I've had people who are overweight sitting in front of me walk away, and I was like, man, I did not figure out what that person needed. I did not figure out what's going to get them up in the morning so that they can be there for their kids. Like, I didn't make that connection, and that's on me. So don't be that guy. And when you find out that person's why, then it makes it so much easier to coach them, because you know it, which we all know, right? But if you don't set it up strong enough beforehand, they're going to walk away. So that's another thing. And then other ones from the weekend, I think, well, one of the things, Nick, what did you say? You had a good one. Oh, about like impact and stuff. And like, you never know who you're going to impact. And you don't even like, yeah, this whole story with like Adam, or people that he didn't talk, or he talked to and followed up with for 5 years and they still didn't do it. But the guy that was in the room with him 5 years later was the one that needed to hear it. So you just, you don't know what impact you have, and you have to take ownership of realizing the possibility of the impact that you can have, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think that you can't be turned off at any point in the business. You have to be on all the time, and you have to do it to succeed and to make that impact on people. So I think those were some of my biggest ones.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Who are you popcorning?
Ashley.
No hotties. See you.
Darn it. Okay, it worked for Penny. It didn't work for Heather. There was so much. And like Heather, I've been gone from events for quite a while with school and everything that's been happening. And so I was really excited to get back to a quarterly. But I forgot how like mentally draining it is to refocus your brain on all of the things that you've forgotten about or just put to the side. Like, I got home last night and I just crashed. And Jeremy was like laughing at me. He's like, what? You just sat around in training all day. And I'm like, but like just mentally, it's so much to take in, right? But there were a couple of things. One was, like you guys have said, invites. I haven't invited to something in I don't know how long. And Juanita gave me a box of invites, and literally they've sat in my car. And like I pulled one out at one point and put my name on it, and then I missed the opportunity to hand it to the person that I gave it, like wanted to give it to, and I put it away, and I haven't like pulled the box out or like looked at them again since. So that's going on my 90-day plan. And then, so the one quote that really stuck with me this time was, accept what you're not good at right now, practice and build a habit of it, and you will get better. And I'm really good at being like, well, I'm not good at that, but I'm really good at this. So I'm just going to stick with this, and I'm going to avoid that because I know I can do this really well. So I am going to get out of that comfort zone and try building myself in other areas. And then the other one that really hit me was be confident in making suggestions to your client to get the results. I've always been one that when I get somebody started on a plan, like I know the products work, I know what they've done for me, but that money aspect of it always gets in my head. And so I'm always like, well, let's just start you on like one canister of shake and like we'll talk about it as we go. And then like I see like Trish like popping out like $300 orders when they first order, and I'm like, I can barely get somebody to do like 60. But then he like said, like, when you go to the doctor's office, does the doctor hand you like a catalog of like, oh, what would you like to like get better? What do you think will help you? Or does he just tell you what to take and you take it? And so, yeah. So I'm gonna practice to build that habit. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much because it's so true, like the value, right? Because if you're concerned about it, then that's what you project into the conversation, right? And like Heather just posted, she can help you with that about how, connecting the why and really having that confidence in someone's come to you looking for results. They're looking to you to tell them, hey, 2 shakes a day, right? Like if someone asks me how you lose weight, 2 shakes a day, healthy 2 snacks and a healthy meal. That's how you start every conversation because you just prep them for 2 shakes a day. They ask you, how do I lose weight? 2 shakes a day, 1 a meal, and healthy snacks, right? And so then you're leading into that conversation with a simple, that's your first, right? Your first invitation. So Ashley, I love that. I loved seeing you there this weekend. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have your energy back in the room. Yeah, and so if it's an issue, obviously something we all need to grow on, so we can put it into our action steps of supporting each other in our 90-day plans, right, as we hold that accountability. So thank you, Ashley. I got down here that Ashley's going to get out of her comfort zone, so we can all help her with that and get rid of that box of invites. And thank you, Heather. We would love that. And so, Ashley, who do you want to popcorn?
I will popcorn.
I can go now.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna popcorn Trish, so that
Okay.
works.
And Ashley, before I get started, if you need help with wellness profiles and how to talk to people and get that sale, please feel free to reach out. I will definitely help you. Oh. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to come on to video so you can see me. Can you see me? Okay, there we go. All right, so a couple. There's a lot of things. For those of you that may or may not know, this last little while has been a really difficult transition for myself personally. And I have really stopped believing in myself, which means that I stopped believing in the people that I've been helping. And Ryan and both EJ said that you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. And pardon me. Where's the page I was going to? So the one thing is when you stop believing in yourself, like to the point where I've been lately, the one thing that really stuck out to me was to practice in front of the mirror and positive affirmations. So on my drive home today, I like tilted the mirror, like the rearview mirror, to like look at myself quickly and be like, and then I said it. I said, I'm so excited to announce that and welcome to the stage 15K Press Team Trish Brown. And then I like stopped and listened to what I said. And I was like, damn, that felt really good to hear that. You know what I mean? So it just got me so pumped to like say that, right, to myself. So one thing, I'm not just going to practice like the walking on stage thing, but I'm going to start practicing looking at myself in the mirror and saying positive affirmations, because like quite literally the last little while, like Juanita can vouch for this, is that when I went to the vision board workshop the other day, and Juanita's like, write down, what are your visions? What do you want in life and everything? And I quite literally wrote, I don't know what I want because I really feel like I'm not worth it. And I really need to start looking in the mirror and telling myself that I am worth it, that I am worth doing this, and I'm worth everything, and I have to learn to love myself more. Sorry. It's been a really emotional day, especially with that Beyonce video. Like, I was just crying uncontrollably with that today, and it was like all those things that popped up, like helping kids, even just giving like somebody unfortunate a glass of water is things that I want to do. I want to be able to help people like that. So, sorry. The other thing that stuck out to me is that I always have a brain like a sieve. Like, I think of something and I don't write it down and then I forget about it. So what EJ said was, don't trust your mind, write everything down. Or maybe that was Ryan, I can't remember at this point. But my goal is to start writing everything down, because I used to come up with these wicked ideas all the time, and then it's like, oh crap, what was I thinking? So I'm seriously going to go buy myself a new journal that is Trisha's thoughts, so that I can start documenting everything that I'm thinking. Like today I was already thinking, like, I love the club, but before the club, what was I doing? I was doing shake parties, and that was something that was thriving for me, to get people to come to my house or go to them and do that. And quite literally, since we started renovating and doing the club in February, I haven't done a shake party. So like, that's one thing that I need to plug myself back into, is something that I was thriving with. And like, I love the club, don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's not my passion. And I'm sorry for saying that, Juanita, and you probably know that it's not my passion. I love supporting it and I love working there, but to me, I need to do something that I'm passionate about, and that is going one-on-one and doing invites and getting people either to my house for a sampling session or something like along those lines, because that's where I thrived. And then, hold on. The other thing was, can you be your own boss? Like, would you fire yourself today? Like, are you sitting at home saying that you're doing things and you're not? And like, would you have a job tomorrow if you were actually working for somebody else? Like, that was a big thing for me. I would be fired. Like, honestly, I'm going to put it out there. Like, I would probably be teetering on having a job. If I was my own boss, I would fire myself, because I'm not doing what I should be doing in order to progress myself. Oh my God, so many notes. I took like 20 pages of notes. And yes, Heather, I have like huge writing. It's how I write fast. And then the other thing was the danger of management mode and production mode, right? That was another big thing for me, because me, with my previous jobs and everything, I've been like somebody that's been like the boss of somebody, and I got to get out of that boss's mindset and start working at helping, like as a production, somebody leadership that is like inspiring people and motivating people. Like, I'm not their boss, they're their own boss, you know what I mean? So and then, oh yeah, the vision board, I'm going to actually finish that. I put a big star beside that. You're welcome, Juanita. that's going to be like a little project in working. Okay. And then the other things that, oh yeah, the numbers today, like how to get and how to get to active world team and get and mill team, like how many supervisors. Like I didn't realize, like, I don't want to say it's easy because it's not easy, but it's very simple. Okay. Like I couldn't even believe that you get 8 supervisors working like actively than your get team. And like, it was just like, oh my goodness. Like I didn't realize it was such a small number. And even if you have 10 supervisors and 2 are kind of like teetering, but you still have other people, then those are going to like, and if you're helping, being a leader and showing them and inspiring them, then it's just all going to work out. So, and 1% better every day. That's my goal, to be 1% better every day.
I love it. I love it. And I agree with everyone in the chat. Do not apologize. You have nothing to apologize for.
I wasn't reading it.
That's okay, but this is what we're about, right? And so I think it's important that you find your passions. I think it's important that you do what excites you. And we're all here to support you in that and help you and be that bounce board, right? You got to have that vision board. If you guys haven't done your vision board yet, do it. And Trish, I'm going to challenge you on that it's done by Wednesday. No project, don't overthink it, get it done, because that's what we do is we procrastinate because we want it to be pretty and perfect and a nice glittery board, and then just do it, just get it done, because you could always make another one in a week, but you need to take that action now.
Can I add something about the vision board? So I have mine in my room here. Okay, does anybody recognize the sweater I was wearing today?
Ah, nice.
I bought it last week, and it's literally, I just saw it across the room, and I was like, oh my God. I would have worn the beanie if I thought I could get away with it. I have a gray beanie, like legit, that was going to be me. So, exact same story. If you put it on your vision board, it'll happen.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to popcorn to Matt because he's got some work phone calls to make before university, so Cyrus.
Takeaways. I have so many different takeaways. And right now my brain's not functioning properly anymore. One of the things is just do the best you can. Consistent work every day. One of my things in my 90-day plan is definite 30 minutes of personal development. Like I listen to it in the truck. I've started reading, but I have to make it more of a priority than just it's there. So that's one big thing is the whole personal development. There's just so many little things that they both said, and right now I'm trying to flip back and figure out. Always be a person of your word. When you say you're going to follow up with somebody, follow up with them, and it's not just this business; it's other businesses, it's work, it's personal, it's all that stuff. There's so much aspects to these weekends and stuff that aren't even really related to necessarily directly to Herbalife. You can take these lessons in management to any job, to any career, to anything you do. So there's so many things just for my other job, you know what I mean? Even though I can't stand it and want to be done with it, but it is what it is. It's what makes the money right now. So, and again, you have to fail to succeed, and you can't be scared to fail. Failure is natural. Failure happens. Like I say it all the time to myself, but I'm always scared to fail. So that's about what I got right now.
Awesome. That's really awesome. And I
need to make phone calls.
I think that failure is going to happen. So stop being scared of it. I think that's so important. And it's such a reflection of so many things, right? Like starting on, getting excited about new results, or reaching out and doing some invites, or getting a wellness profile booked, or hosting your first shake party, or starting a cardio drumming class. Failure is going to happen in your life all the time. Don't be scared of it. And I think that's...
I got something.
Okay, and I got to follow up on this. I'm back in 20 minutes, so I got to go.
Matt's got to go. He's going to be mad at his word. Okay, who's jumping in there?
So I wanted to say something because I read a while ago that, like, inventors, right? how many times do they go through something before they get the right one,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not failures. It's just like you're learning, right?
Yeah.
So it's not failing, you're learning. Because without those, you wouldn't get to the end product.
Failure only comes when you quit, right? Because it was how many times? Who made the light bulb? Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah.
And so he did how many light bulbs? And it wasn't that he just needed to do that many tests until he got the right one. But if he'd given up on number 2, they weren't failures. They were just projects, right? So yes. Melissa, why don't you go next? Why don't you share with us? You're kind of cutting it out, so maybe take off your video and then we can maybe we'll get your sound better.
Okay. Let's see if this helps. Okay, so in like very big capitals, I put invites. So I need to work on that. And then I have stars all around the legacy because that was really, really important. And the way that they put it, and that made a really big impact on me. Because I do want to leave a legacy for my kids, and I want them to have something, and I want to make my parents proud just like everybody else. So that is definitely something that I am going to be adding into my why. And the find your purpose. And I know my purpose. I've always known my purpose. I just had to find the right vessel to figure it out. So I have that. And yeah, those are probably like my really big ones. Other than the fact that I don't have a vision board, so I really need to do that. And I filled out my papers for the first week of my 90-day plan.
Love it. Love it. Okay, we have Melissa. I love the find your purpose. I think a lot of us can be clear on that. And you already said your next action step is that I need to get my vision board done, right? So you need to get that vision board done. And like when we did our vision board workshop at the club last week, we had actually a lady come and she joined us there, and she's like, I do a new vision board pretty much every month, right? So that's what I mean. Like, don't overthink your vision board. Just make it happen. Just make it happen, because then you start the process. So you and Trish are both on you guys get to hold each other accountable on that, on getting some vision boards done. Deal?
Deal.
All right. So we've got, done. Okay, good. We've got, let's pass it off to Erica. I feel weird calling her. I'm like, Mom, your turn.
All right. First, I want to agree with someone else. I don't know how many times I've seen it, how many meetings I've been to, but when Ryan did the 7 income streams, it's the first time I've actually totally got all of them. And it's like, maybe because he did it, with his on the overhead or whatever, instead of using the slides, but it's crystal clear. I finally get it. I really like the story about the guys working for the railroad, and how one ended up still laying track, years later, and the other guy was CEO or president or whatever. And the difference was that one just worked to get paid and the other worked for the railroad. And I thought, that's so true for a lot of people. They just go to work for a paycheck. They don't go to work for themselves. And they don't go to work there for even in this business. You could just do it for the sake of getting a check every month to pay the mortgage, or you could actually work for yourself and get further there. But I think my biggest takeaway from the weekend would have been when Ryan, at the very near the end, Sunday afternoon, I've heard for years, personal development, PD, whatever, you got to do it. No one's ever defined it. No one's ever defined what personal development is until Ryan said it. He said, personal development are activities that improve awareness and identity. They develop talents and potential. They build human capital. They facilitate employability. They enhance quality of life, and they contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations. That covers a lot of stuff, not just reading Jim Rohn or Mark Hughes, but I really appreciated actually having a definition. And like what Matt said, personal development will affect him on his job at work. Personal development will help Penny dealing with customers at Sobeys. It's not just about that. It's all of these things. If you want to learn how to type, that can be part of personal development. If you don't already know how to, everybody with a cell phone knows how to type, but you know what I mean. There's lots of aspects to personal development. It's not just memorizing what Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn say, even though that's mindset personal development. I appreciated the fact that he said there's a lot of other parts of personal development that are more than mindset. So I think that was probably the biggest thing for me, was the definition for what he defines as personal development.
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome.
Heidi's the only one left, and I had actually messaged her saying, "Are you home already?" And she said, "Yes, she is." So I guess I have to send it to Winnipeg.
Are we just saying what we took away from the weekend?
Yeah, so your takeaways. And then we'll change the subject really quickly, but yeah, your takeaways.
Okay, my takeaways is that I am sitting on a gold mine, literally, and I'm literally just sitting on it. I'm not doing very much right now in Winnipeg. So I got the 90-day booklet from Juanita, and I'm going to start, I'm probably going to make, say hi quick.
Beckett! Hi, Beckett! Hi, Beckett!
So I'm gonna make some copies of I have a copy of each of the pages so that I can continually be doing that, because I don't record anything I do. I maybe do a couple invites every couple weeks to things, or talk about Herbalife. So my goal, my long-term goal right now, because I learned I need to make a long-term goal and then make goals to get to that long-term goal. So my long-term goal would be to talk to 10 people a day, which is way more than what I'm doing. So my goal is right now it's going to be 10 people a week for this first bit. So if I can talk to 10 people a week, that's still probably 8 or 9 more than I have been talking to. So yeah, just to get the word out there. And I think what I'm going to do is start a challenge, so I have something to invite people to. So I'm probably going to start a breakfast challenge, just because I don't really have a space or anything just yet. So I'm going to start a breakfast challenge. Oh, Beckett, who's that? Who's that?
It's me.
No, there's Taylor. Beckett, there's Taylor. He's going to pop his head up soon. Look, Taylor. Say hi.
Oh, I love this business.
So yeah, that's my goal. So I'm going to start focusing back on my goals as well, because I haven't really made much progression since I left. Oh, you're right there. People can see you, honey.
Hi.
You just go there. So I'm gonna start getting back to the gym, because I need to start focusing on my results too, so that I can continue my journey. Because I've kind of just stuck where I am for probably 4 months now. So I need to focus on myself so that I can help others. Juanita's always said it, and now Ryan Baker said it, but you got to fill your cup up first before you can fill somebody else's cup. So yeah, and I don't have my notes with me, but I know I have probably 20, 30 pages of notes. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of notes. But those are the things that I'm going to start doing. And yeah, my biggest takeaway was the goals.
Love it. I love it. So Heidi, I love that you've kind of acknowledged, you're hey, wait, you're taking personal responsibility, right? It's not oh yeah, well, because I'm away or this or that. It's no, I actually
and I have that book, The Secret. Yeah. I've had it for 6 or 7 years. Do you think I've read any of it? No. So that's going to go with my personal development books, because I now have 3 or 4 of them. No, 5 of them, because I even got one from Jessica Martel Foundation. And I got a couple from you, and then I have Jim Rohn. So I'm I have all these books for personal development. And I'm I just started reading Jim Rohn because of the university thing. And I'm I love it. So I need to focus on that as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys, I heard a lot of unity in all of our shares. I really did. I heard a lot of unity. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry, we're doing bedtime all of a sudden, so I was like, it's gonna get noisy. So one thing I heard was a lot of unity in. Okay, it's okay. Just mom will push you back in a second. Okay. So a lot of unity in basically the personal development and action. Right? Action, action, action. I love how mom said that about the definition of personal development is there's activities that improve. And Garen Jones said that last year was you can read all the books in the world, but if you leave everything in between the pages, it does you no good. You have to take those books and put them into practice. When you read Tony Robbins and he says, try switching up your words. Instead of using, I'm so angry at you, say, I'm so flabbergasted, and try and get as angry, right? Like when you change your language, but you can read that, but if you don't put it into action the next day, you just read a book. You didn't grow. Right. And so I think that's what we all really get to take in is put into action and invites. I think we can all get better at that. I'll get unified in that. So Heidi, just so you guys know, I talked with Heather. I've talked with Liz already. We're looking at launching another 6-week challenge. Okay. And doing it the same, just so you know, the people have been plugging in through Zoom. I know you haven't so much, but people have been plugging in through Zoom every Thursday. So if the time works for you, right now, you just got to go sit over there. Okay. There you go. All right, so if the time works for you, we're going to do a big unified weight loss challenge again. So that way you're not doing it all on your own. You can plug in, we can use the website, we can use the tools. So we can talk about that. We're looking at launching another 6-week challenge because this one's coming up to an end. So another event. So how perfect is this timing that we now all have something to go invite to? So those details will be coming out. So the last thing I want to do is I want to get you guys a little bit out of your comfort zone, okay? And I'd like to ask for some declarations. These declarations can be personal results. These declarations can be business results. Yeah. These declarations can be invites that you want to do. These declarations can be commitment on your 90-day plan, right? So I'm not asking you to declare a millionaire team by a certain date. You can if you want to, but I want you to make a declaration of something that you would like to change in your life, whether it's personal or business, over the next 90 days. Does anyone know already what they want? I know someone made a declaration from stage today, so... Who's ready?
Okay, so I guess I'll go first because I declared that I wanted to be Active World Team by JKO, but I also like to be so into it that I'm already hitting cuts of Get at that time.
That's awesome.
And then my personal goal for myself is to make my vision board. I can't promise you by Wednesday because I'm a single mom right now, but I will definitely do my darndest. I already pulled all the stuff out and it's on my table. So I am going to work on it, okay? And then my next one is that I am going to do positive affirmations where I'm telling myself that I'm worth it and that I'm beautiful and all that other fun stuff.
Love it.
You can become Garen Jones with me and just listen to his affirmations.
But I don't connect with Garen Jones, so that's why that's not. I love
Find who you connect with. So I'm going to challenge you then, okay? So that we want to be on university on time. So I want to make sure that we go through this quick. But I'm going to challenge you then that some of your positive affirmations are you visioning and announcing yourself as Active World Team at JKO. JKO 2018, we're so excited. Congratulations, Trish Brown, brand new Active World Team. Woo!
Thank you.
You're gonna run down the hallway and Ronan's gonna high five you and you're gonna, you're gonna pick up your baby and you're gonna kiss her and it's gonna be amazing, okay? That's a part of your daily stuff. Good?
Okay.
Okay,
yep.
Let's go. Who's next?
I got mine. So, by the end of the 90 days, I want to be done Active World Team and into my cuts again.
By what
and day? I'm going to work on filling out my gauge sheets every day because that's a thing I don't normally do. JKO.
Okay. Gauges every day.
Should I type it? Can you hear me?
Type it too, yep. Gauges every day, an Active World Team pin at JKO, moving into Get Cuts.
Yes.
Got it.
Melissa, you and I are doing it together.
Done. So you guys, we get.
Don't really have a choice.
We get to hold Melissa accountable by asking for her gauges, right? This is the locking of the arms together. That's why we're making declarations, so that we can say, hey, remember that why? Remember that thing that drove you? We want to see you get there. So Melissa, I'm excited to see your gauges. And I can't wait for Melissa Thompson, brand new active world team. Woo! Yay! Oh, I'm being too noisy apparently. So Taylor, say congratulations, Melissa. Who's next? Heidi came
I'll go
up.
next.
Oh, okay, let's go.
I there first. I'm because he's already said that's less than the cost of a Pepsi a day. So he sees the value. He tried it. He likes it. Now I just need to take that one step further and actually get him on plan. I'm going to start with an invitation to SDS in November for sure. I don't know what else my goals are right now.
How many people are you going to invite to STS, Penny?
I think I have 8 on my list.
Done. Okay. So we get to celebrate Sean from Sobeys. Is going to be one of Penny's brand new clients. He's going to get epic results, and the referrals that are going to come from that are going to be insane. So I cannot wait to celebrate Sean at
Sounds good.
Yes. And then Penny's going to have 4 guests at freaking STS this upcoming November. Yay! Hi, Heidi, you're up.
Seriously, when me and Penny had to sit outside while you guys were all in soup school, we were making these plans, just so you know. I think I made, a to-do list of the next, week of, 7 or 8 things. I can't remember how many's on them. But, yeah, so I need to get business cards from Vistaprint because I don't have anything to give people, so how are they going to know to contact me? Because I'm brilliant, and I don't have anything yet. So, this week I want to get, that kind of stuff set up for business. So I want to get my business cards. I want to get CR7 packages and H3O packages and bring them to the gym with me with my business cards attached. So then if you start talking with somebody, or if they see my Herbalife clothing and ask questions, I can say, well, here, why don't you try this? And it'll have my business card, and it'll be like a little taste tester kind of thing. And then Liftoff was another one I think that me and Penny were talking about doing. Was it Liftoff? I can't remember. But yeah, so I have a list of different things that I want to do so that I can try to get going.
Love it. So what I heard a declaration from Heidi there was that Heidi's going to be in supervisor school at JKO.
Yes, and I'm not as ambitious as everybody else. I'll be actress supervisor next LDW. Okay.
That's awesome. Who's next?
Ashley, I'm staring at you.
Fine. Okay. So I wrote down a couple already declarations. I gave myself 3 while we were doing the whole SMART goals with the amazing, gorgeous Ryan Baker. And apparently my SMART goals have been changed just now by Heather. So I had originally put, because I'm super, I've written this down, I don't know how many times, and I failed at it and failed at it and failed at it. And so I put that I could definitely hit active supervisor by extravaganza next year. Apparently, I will be hitting it by JKO. So all of you have heard that. All of you know that. Please hold me to it. And if I'm crying in a corner, just pick me up and help me get some invites out. Okay. So then my next thing that I had written down was to be world team by LDW of next year. But since my active supervisor has been bumped up, I will be world team by April is my goal. And then my last goal is I've been using my concussion and my injury, and I'm not going to take up a bunch of time because I know you guys have to go to university and I'll start crying. But I've been using my injury as an excuse for a couple of months now. And my eating has been better and I'm seeing progress, but I know that I can do more. I know I can push myself more. So my goal is to be under the 200 mark by my 31st birthday, starting off my 31st birthday back in the 100s. So that's like 30 pounds by December 12th. It's like 4 pounds a week. I've averaged it out and I'm going for it. So those are my goals.
Yeah, Ashley.
Woo! Yay! Brand new active supervisor, JKL Ashley. Yeah, I love it. Okay, we got 5 minutes before university. So who's next?
I'll go real quick. Okay, so I said Active Soup by JKO because Ashley, we've been sitting at supervisor for way too long, so I'm getting real tired of this, and I just don't want to do it anymore. So that's one. And two, I'm gonna same boat as you, Ash. Like I'm telling you, you and me, we're gonna do this together because I've been using my stupid injury as an excuse for far too long too. I gained all this weight back, and I want 30 pounds of it gone by JKO. So we better do some cardio or something, run together. Okay?
Love it. Brand new active supervisor. Heather. What am I supposed to say? Gonzo? Heather Gonzo. Woo! Love it.
Maureen. And by the way, time out for a quick second. I also got to hustle because Nick just left to go take his friend a sample of liftoff. So I got to get my butt moving.
Yes. Yes. Okay, Erica, you're next.
All right, it's pretty simple. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be for a week, a month, or whatever, but I said 2 clients by the end of November. Simple as that.
2 clients by when?
End of November?
Ah! Yay! I love it.
That's awesome.
So with that, you guys, we are going to jump onto Soup School. I have all of your declarations written down. I have all of your declarations written down. Super, super excited for every single one of you. And let's jump on university and learn how to grow our business. Deal?
Mommy.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.